So I definitely felt led to encourage somebody to re-examine whether or not they have included God in the plan that they've made for themselves or within the things that they've been acting on lately, because a person who's hasty with their footsteps falls into error, and it can become so easy to get consumed in the fact that we've not seen the evidence of what it is that God has spoken, or consumed in the fact that it's about to happen. We're at the brink of it, or consumed in the fact that it's finally beginning to break forth, that idolatry quickly becomes a thing in our lives. God has been telling me to come out of the hamster wheel, to not get lost in the hamster wheel, so to speak, and to pause. So I share that with you today, to pause, to wait upon the Lord. Wait, I say, upon the Lord, and include him in your plans. Okay? He has a blueprint and a strategy, and he may have you pause and take a step back in a place where you would have thought and perceived it to be an area where you ought to just keep on running and keep on pressing. He may say pause and enter into a small thing, or enter into rest. Therein he will give you the blueprint, the instructions that may be far more simple than you would have anticipated, and that will be your recipe for the avalanche. That will be your recipe for the breakthrough, however that may look for you. But one thing that we can do is begin to silence the still small voice of God, especially at the brink of breakthrough, especially when we're seeing that it's finally coming to pass. A lot of people deviate from the faithful God that has led us to that point. And that's when we fall into error, and that's when our very souls can be lost, and God forbid we take other souls down with us. So, yet again, in conclusion, I ask you today, have you included God in that plan, in that project, in that conversation? Did you include God? Be sure that you do, and to seek God, to seek his kingdom first and his righteousness, and all these things can be added unto you, because one night of prayerlessness and comfort in that prayerless way can lead to the demise of your soul. And I know that may sound a bit far-fetched, but the farther that we are away from God and the less that we begin to yield and cleave to his still small voice is the more that we deviate from a place of safety. And so don't let that be you, and don't be afraid to turn away from a thing that seemed like it was finally moving. God has a plan and a strategy, and it will move again. Just don't force it, okay? Don't lean onto your own understanding, and don't be hasty, and don't forget to yield to the still small voice of God, and don't cease to pray, okay? I say this all in love, in Jesus' name. Talk to you guys later. Bye.